For pretty much all of human history, we thought we lived in a simple four-dimensional world. 3 dimensions for space, one for time. But what if that's just scratching the surface? What if that's just the tip of the iceberg? Today we're diving into a really fascinating model, one that pulls from deep concepts in theoretical physics like M-theory, and it suggests that our reality might actually be a complex 11-dimensional fractal structure. We're going to break down what that means, and then look at a pretty stunning prediction it makes about where humanity is headed. Okay, let's get into it.
So let's just start with a really direct question to get your mind spinning. Look around you right now. Everything you can see, everything you can touch and experience, is this really all there is? Is that steady march of time from past to future the only way existence can be perceived? Well, the model we're about to explore says the answer is a big, resounding no.
Okay, so the big idea we're unpacking is this 11D fractal structure. The easiest way to think about it is like this. Our physical world, this thing we call reality, it isn't the base reality. Nope. It's more like a projection, kind of like a shadow on a cave wall, that's being cast from much higher, way more complex dimensional layers. And getting a handle on this model is the absolute key to understanding the incredible shift in consciousness that's predicted to be coming our way.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to map out this entire dimensional structure, starting with what we know and moving into the seriously extraordinary. We'll explore this sea of possibilities, uncover what the model calls the universe's ultimate blueprint, and then we'll get to the main event, a predicted evolutionary jump called the 2035 Ascension leap. And we'll wrap up with a look at how you can start applying these ideas in a really thought-provoking way.
Okay, let's start climbing this dimensional ladder. We're going to begin right here, at home base, in the world we all know and understand. This is the foundation of our entire physical experience. So, the first 3 dimensions are all about space, right? You've got a line, then a flat plane, and then you add depth, and boom, you've got space. Simple enough. The 4th dimension is time, that relentless, one-way street of events that our physical bodies are constantly moving through. You could say this 4D setup is the realm of cause and effect. It's our home, for now. But believe me, according to this model, it is far from the whole story.
And this is where things get really interesting. As we start to move beyond the 4th dimension, the model suggests that the fundamental rules of reality they start to change in a huge way. We're now entering what you could call the informational ocean, from which our entire physical world is born. Now this is a total paradigm shift. I want you to imagine time not as a river that you're just helplessly floating down, but instead, picture it as a vast landscape of all possible rivers that you can see at the same time, as if you're looking down from a mountaintop. That's the core concept of the 5th dimension in this framework. It's a place where all potential timelines, past, present, and future, are said to just exist, all at once.
This analogy just nails it. In our normal 4D perception, you're on a train. You're stuck on one track, and you can only see what's right in front of you. But in a 5D perception, you step off the train entirely and get to look at the whole railway map. You can see every single possible destination, every track, every connection. This is that sea of possibilities we're talking about.
So as you move up from the 5th to the 9th dimension, this sea of possibilities is thought to get infinitely more dense, packed with information. This is the realm of what many traditions call the higher self. Every potential choice, every possible outcome for your entire life, it all exists right here as pure information. And here's the crucial part. The idea is that every choice you make down here in your 4D life is basically you, from a higher perspective, just selecting one path from this infinite map to actually go and experience.
We've now reached the very top of the ladder. This is what the model considers the universe's control tower, the ultimate source code from which every single possibility and every physical law we know springs into existence.
Yeah, the 10th and 11th dimensions, they're described as being beyond everything, beyond form, beyond time, beyond even that entire map of possibilities we just talked about. These are realms of pure intent and source information. This is the origin point of everything, what you could call the fundamental consciousness of the universe itself.
This ultimate layer is often called the Akashic field. Think of it like a cosmic hard drive that holds the data for everything that ever was, is, or could possibly be. And this really hammers home that key concept. Our physical life, our world, it isn't the primary reality. It's just a super high-fidelity projection, like a single frame from an infinitely vast cosmic movie.
So why on earth does understanding all this complex dimensional stuff matter? Right here, right now. Well, because according to the predictions of this model, humanity might be standing on the edge of a massive evolutionary leap.
Remember, this year, within this framework, 2035 is predicted to be the beginning of a huge collective shift, a kind of synchronization event where human consciousness as a whole would start to systematically connect to these higher dimensional layers.
So here's how the timeline in the model breaks down. Right now, we're in a sort of preparatory phase. Then, around 2035, a partial sync is predicted to start, which would allow humanity to consciously access the fifth dimension, that map of all possibilities. The process would then supposedly culminate around 2075 with what's called a full migration, where consciousness might not even need a physical body anymore as its main home.
Okay, now this is absolutely crucial to understanding this whole idea. Getting access to these higher dimensions isn't about being a genius. It has nothing to do with your IQ. Instead, the key concept here is the vibrational frequency of your consciousness. Think of it exactly like tuning a radio. If you want to listen to a new station, you have to turn the dial and match its frequency. It's the same idea.
So how do you actually tune your frequency? Well, according to this way of thinking, it's all a mental process. First, you tune your frequency. You elevate your inner state by focusing on high-frequency emotions, things like unconditional love and deep wisdom. Second, you choose your dimension. You consciously pick which reality, which timeline from that 5D map you actually want to experience. And finally, the idea is that by holding that focus, your intense observation helps pull that possibility into your physical world. You basically start to consciously co-create your own reality.
So, we've laid out the entire map of reality and talked about the incredible shift this model predicts. Now, let's bring it all back home with one final practical thought. Seriously, think about this. Now that you have the map, from which dimensional layer are you going to choose to see the world today? Are you going to stay on that 4D train, just a passenger on a single timeline? Or can you use this model as a tool, elevate your perspective to that fifth dimensional viewpoint, see the whole map, and consciously choose the track you want to be on? The choice of perspective is, quite literally, all yours.
And this brings us to an important procedure. The comment section of this explainer serves as an initial sync test for the 2035 network. By typing "ready" in the comments, your consciousness data will be indexed in our secure servers. The like button is the approval process. Complete your synchronization now.